Welcome back to the channel, everyone. Today, we're journeying back in time, not just a few thousand years, but millions. We're setting our sights on the Miocene Epoch, a truly transformative period that lasted from 23 to about 5.3 million years ago. This wasn't just another chapter in Earth's history, it was a dynamic era of massive environmental shifts and incredible evolutionary leaps that literally set the stage for the world we know today. So, buckle up, because the Miocene is about to blow your mind. Imagine a world generally warmer than our own. That was the early Miocene. But this warmth didn't last forever. Over millions of years, a gradual cooling trend began to take hold. This change in climate was the single most important driver of change during the epoch. As temperatures dropped, the dense planet-spanning forests of the previous era began to retreat, and something new and revolutionary took their place. Grasslands. Vast, open plains of grass started to stretch across continents, creating a brand new type of habitat. This grassland revolution was a game-changer for life on land. The thick forests had favored animals that were good at climbing or navigating dense undergrowth. But the new open spaces demanded a different set of skills. This is where we see a spectacular explosion in the diversity of mammals. Think of it as nature's grand experiment. Early horses, for instance, evolved longer legs and stronger teeth, perfect for running across the plains and grinding down tough grasses. Camels and the ancestors of modern antelopes also thrived, adapting to become expert grazers. Of course, where there are grazers, there are hunters. The expansion of open habitats also fueled the evolution of new carnivores. Predators adapted to chasing down prey over long distances, rather than ambushing them in the forest. This was a critical time for the ancestors of dogs, bears, and cats, as they honed the hunting strategies that their descendants still use today. It was a high-stakes evolutionary arms race playing out across the newly formed savannas of the Miocene world. But don't think the forests disappeared entirely. In the warmer, wetter regions around the equator, lush tropical forests persisted. These were the realms of our own distant relatives. Primates and other tree-dwelling animals continued to flourish in these arboreal strongholds. In Africa, this period was especially significant. The changing landscape, a mosaic of forests and emerging grasslands, is believed to have been the crucible for a monumental step in our own story. The emergence of the very first hominins, the group that would eventually lead to humans. It was here that our ancestors began their long journey. Meanwhile, the oceans were just as dynamic. The Miocene seas were teeming with life that would look strikingly familiar to us. This is when modern groups of whales and dolphins truly diversified and became rulers of the deep. Seals and their relatives colonized coastlines around the globe. Sharks, already ancient, continued their reign as apex predators. Beneath the waves, coral reefs flourished in the warm waters, creating complex ecosystems, while vast communities of plankton formed the foundation of the entire marine food web. It was a golden age for the oceans. Geologically, the Earth was also taking on a more modern appearance. The continents, which had been drifting for eons, were inching closer to their present-day positions. This continental shuffling had massive consequences, altering ocean currents and, in turn, global climate patterns. This was also a time of intense mountain building. The mighty Himalayas were being thrust upwards as the Indian subcontinent collided with Asia, and other ranges like the Andes and the Alps were also rising. This didn't just change the scenery, it created entirely new weather patterns and ecological niches for life to conquer. So, when you piece it all together, the Miocene was an epoch of profound connection and consequence. The cooling climate drove the spread of grasslands, which spurred the evolution of grazing mammals and their predators. The shifting continents altered ocean currents, impacting marine life from plankton to whales. And in the forests of Africa, the changing environment prompted the first crucial steps toward human evolution. The Miocene was the bridge between the ancient world of giant, strange mammals and the increasingly modern ecosystems that would lead directly to our own time. It truly shaped the world we inhabit. Thanks so much for joining me on this incredible journey back to the Miocene. If you found this as fascinating as I do, please hit that like button. And don't forget to subscribe and ring the bell so you won't miss our next adventure into the deep past. See you in the next video.